Hello everyone and welcome to another timeless video. So today we're going to be taking a look at Yawg deck again, but with a little bit of a twist. So last week there was a community tournament where a viewer of mine called Kapala entered with a pretty unique Yawg list. So I decided to check it out because it was playing 4 copies of Natural Order and 0 copies of Eldritch Evolution. But I did put a little bit of a spin on it. So the list wasn't playing any Once Upon a Time, so I decided to play 4 copies of Once Upon a Time. And I also went down to 20 lands because of that, since Once Upon a Time already kind of covers the land issue, trying to smooth out your hand. And because we're also playing Deathray Shaman, I did go up to 8 copies of fetch lands, and I did ever so slightly change the sideboard so that we can actually accommodate for some of the meta decks out there, especially considering that the Field of the Dead decks are running rampant in best of 3. So again, what's really unique about this list is the fact that it's playing Natural Order. Now, this does require a green creature sacrifice, which isn't an issue, but you do have to search your library for a very specific green creature card and put it onto the battlefield. Now, in a deck where you do want to get the Yawg out, which is not technically a green creature, so it looks like Kapala did need to put some green creatures in, which are also pretty much a game-ending creatures. We have 1 copy of Aatroxa, which you can put it out onto the battlefield. Against a control deck, if you can get this out, it's pretty much game over. You're gonna have way more cards than your opponent does. And against other fair creature decks, even such as Field of the Dead decks that likes to get some zombies out by turn 4, 5, 6, unless they can actually kill you before you can Natural Order into Craterhoof, they're pretty much gonna be dead. And even if you don't kill them with the Natural Order, you also have to kind of worry about the Yawg combo as well. So Natural Order is going to be kind of like a plan 2 if the Yawg combo doesn't work. But let's say you draw some Craterhoof Behemoths, Aatroxa into your hand. As long as you do have Yawg set up on the battlefield, you could get your combo pieces using the Natural Order, such as grabbing the Young Wolf or grabbing Hapatra onto the battlefield will also do the trick. And as for the other sideboard card that I added to increase the chance of winning against a field matchup are the 2 Ashiok Dream Render. This card is going to single-handedly win the game, because this says spells and abilities your opponents control can't cause their controller to search their library, which means not only can your opponent fetch a land with the fetch lands, but they can't also Natural Order because it requires your opponent to search your library. And even if they do get the Primeval Titan down onto the battlefield, the Titan itself cannot search for lands onto the battlefield. So this card is going to just single-handedly win the game, and as long as you prolong like 1 or 2 turns so that you can actually set up your combo with the Yawg or just kill them with Natural Order and Craterhoof Behemoth, this matchup should be incredibly easy. So having said that, we're going to jump into some timeless best of 3 to show you guys how the deck does. So let's hop on over. Oh wow. Bit unfortunate. Probably bottom the forest, since we can grab a forest with this one. Play the Overgrown Two-Man Pass. Yeah, we don't know what that is. I think I'll just play the Prosperous Innkeeper and pass. I'm not gonna play the Young Wolf here because I have a Natural Order. Seems like the smart thing to do. Swords to Plowshare. Could be playing against a blue-eye control deck, and if so, then this thing is gonna be pretty bad. Play the Prosperous Innkeeper. And then a Young Wolf. Good thing they used the Swords to Plowshare on the Prosperous Innkeeper there instead of the Young Wolf. Banned. Counterspelling that. Okay, that's really good for me. So here's the deal. I think I'm just going to pass here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have exactly enough to Court of Calling. So we're not going to attack. We're going to Court of Calling on their turn. Or if they try to remove this. That's actually very interesting. What should I do here? I could Court now. I think I will. Like, this might force out something. We might resolve natural order. Better to resolve something, get it countered, right? Like that. Leyline Binding. I think I'm gonna let that go so we can natural order the Prosperous Innkeeper here. Seems good. So, let's get a Boseiju to get the Yawg back. Let's get Deathrite Shaman. And a Convoke spell. Okay. That was insane. Because they can't just Leyline Binding this Aatroxa. Yeah, that's fine. We get 7 life. So let's Innkeeper, Deathrite Shaman. Then we're going to Boseiju the Leyline on their turn. Pretty nice. They want to get back a counter spell. Okay. So I could Court of Calling here as well. But I feel like I should do that on their turn. What should I do? I could get a Young Wolf. Let's get a Young Wolf. So they had another counter spell in their hand. So we force it out on their turn. Dig through time. Ooh, that's a juicy one. Might be able to just win here. Yeah, I think we won. If we get a Court of Calling, we win the game. And this is like an infinite draw, so it's gonna be pretty hard for them to actually come back from this. We're just looking for either Blood Artist, Cutthroat, I guess even Natural Order? Does it? Come on. Any of them will do. It's taking quite a bit, actually. We're 30 cards deep in. Okay, there we go. Do that. Let's just... Yeah, let's just win the game. Easy game. Yeah, so the Natural Order tech is kind of insane, right? I mean, considering that they play Leyline. This is 4-color control? I mean, Titan is good. I don't think Craterhoof is actually gonna do it. I mean, maybe, but I feel like Natural Order might be a little bit of a pipe dream against a control deck. Just a tiny bit. What else do we want? Do we want a Scavenging... I don't think we need a Scavenging Ooze when we have a Deathray Shaman. Yeah. Maybe one Natural Order? My gut is telling me Natural Order is a cut, but if I'm gonna leave these in, I feel like I shouldn't cut the Natural Order. I'll leave 2 copies of Natural Order for now. Well, Natural Order City. Okay, I mean, we do have a Thoughtseize, so maybe that's okay. Okay, opponent mulliganed really hard. This can be 1 or 2. 1, of course, they might have gone pretty unlucky. Or 2, they were looking for Rest in Peace. Divine Purge. Divine Purge. Let me get rid of a counter spell. So that we can Natural Order. We'll grab a Forest, play the Halfling. I'm not gonna play the other Halfling. Whoa, they grabbed the Breeding Pool? So they don't have blue-white? Grab the other forest. We'll just natural order. Grab an Aatroxa. Okay, so we do have already a Yawgmoth in our hand. Maybe an Orcish Bowmaster and a land. Okay, this is like really bad. This is the worst Aatrox I've ever seen. But guess it is what it is. Wow, they play the Otawara. Say what? Say what? Yeah, I'm just kind of looking for a counter spell target. I guess I value Deathrite Shaman a little bit more since this is a Snapcaster Mage deck. And we'll just pass. Since they didn't counter the Delighted Halfling, that means that Yawgmoth is actually safe. I don't want to run into Divine Purge, so... Yeah, I mean... Okay, I mean, we got to see a little bit of the natural order action. It's actually pretty insane in this deck. Like, since the Yawgmoth does kind of like flood, so being able to just go wide and then natural order, get the behemoth down, instant GG. Where is my once upon a time? Feels bad. Oh, it's one of these decks. Okay. It's a shame. It's a little bit of a shame that we're going second. Am I going to be winning with Craterhoof or am I going to be winning with Aatroxa? That is the question. I guess it doesn't really matter if I expand on playing the Young Wolf here. Like, I think it's about the same. I think I just play... Okay, so they didn't play anything. I think I'm just going to play Young Wolf and Orcish Bowmaster. Then we'll natural order next turn. I feel like that should be enough to win the game. Unless this is an Aatroxa. Then they go to 27. This is going to be natural order. It's probably going to be Primeval Titan. Is it enough to win the game? I don't know. But it's going to be a lot of damage. So we'll see. Okay. Bowmaster. Oh, it's so unfortunate. We don't have something like a Delighted Halfling. I feel like this should be a win. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, apparently that was it. Okay. Also, here comes the Yawg tech. Here comes the Yawg tech. And a Thoughtseize. So I don't think they can beat an Yawg. At all. I don't think they can beat an Yawg. Is there something else I'm overlooking? Maybe a Haywire Might. I want to go down some Deathrite Shamans. We haven't seen a single Once Upon a Time yet. I don't want to cut too many Once Upon a Time. We did just win with a natural order, but maybe Court of Calling's a little bit too slow against their deck. Orcish Bowmaster also doesn't do much, right? Maybe kind of leaning something like this. We'll try that. Yeah, I don't think they can beat an Yawg if we can get it down. We'll see. Okay. Hear me out. Hear me out. What if we keep this one? Right? Check this out. Turn 1, Delighted Halfling. Turn 1. Once Upon a Time. Get a land. Play the Delighted Halfling. Or we draw a land here. Right? Or we draw a land. Land me? Okay, that's fine. Gonna grab an Overgrown Tomb. Play the Delighted Halfling. Draw a land. Draw a land. Yawg win the game. Come on. Let's see it. Draw a land. Yawg, we win the game. So close. So close. We were so close to winning. 2 chances of drawing a land and we didn't get there. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This was... I think this was a fine keep. I think this was a winning keep. That was a... We didn't find a land in 3 looks. I think we... Once upon a time, then we saw 4 or 5 lands or something like that. So that was also quite unfortunate. But I think that was a fine keep. No. Looks a lot better. Guess Orcish Bowmaster has to go. I'll play with the Thoughtseize first. Okay. Think Arboreal Grazer has to go. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Nothing's going right. Nothing is going right. Okay, how about this? How about this? What if we top deck an Yawg and win the game? What about that? What if we do that? Okay, what about drawing a land and winning the game? There's so many things. So I'm not gonna crack this wooded foothill to increase the chance of us getting a land. Wow, growth spiral. I guess I should have. Okay, well, Deathray Shaman will do. Forgot to attack for 1 damage. Oh, they play Golos. Do we win the game? If we get the Crater Hoof down? Not sure. Okay, we did find a land. Wrap the swamp. Get a Crater Hoof out. Attack for 1 billion damage. Okay. Easy game. Okay, the second game was cursed. The third game was almost cursed. The thing is, I play Once Upon a Time, but we haven't been finding Once Upon a Time to smooth our curve. Actually, we did on the second game, but that one was super cursed. Okay, that's mulligan. That is a keep. Keeping the County Garden for sure. I'm just not sure if I'm keeping the Takenuma. Is it Takenuma? Huh, okay. Let's keep like this. Yeah, another field deck. We do have infinite damage with the Hapatra. We just need to get it out. We also see that we find that natural order. I really actually regret not keeping that Takenuma. So we're looking for a land. If we don't find a land next turn, I might just Court of Calling for Delighted Halfling or something like that. Okay, we did find a land. So what's the play here? So, I can natural order for Atroxa. I don't think that quite wins me the game. If I Hapatra, I can Court of Calling for 1. If I Yawg... Hapatra... You know what? Let's just Yawg so I can Hapatra. And then Court of Calling next turn. Yawg, Hapatra... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would have 5 Court of Calling. So we can Court of Calling for... let's see. Zulaport Cutthroat or Blood Artist, I guess. So we'll do this. We're not going to sacrifice anything. I don't think they're going to be killing us anytime soon. This is a ramp deck. One ring doesn't matter. They're still dead. Yeah, one ring doesn't matter. I guess we don't technically have an infinite. Yeah, we don't technically have an infinite, but it is almost an infinite. So we can Court of Calling now. Okay, yeah. Let's just do it now, so they don't have a target for a natural order. So this one bypasses the One Ring. They're technically not dead. Let's actually not sacrifice the green token because of natural order, things like that. Hold full control. Do you want to hold full control when opponent's drawing multiple cards with Orcish Bowmaster? Because you can sacrifice each of those tokens to the Yawg. But yeah, this deck should be really good against the field deck, honestly, because like it doesn't matter if they create a bunch of zombies, right? As long as we find a combo piece, we just win the game. Do I want to play Titan? Titan doesn't kill the One Ring. No, I don't think I do. I think I just want to play Fisher, Sky Fisher. I could bring the Phyrexian Revoker for the One Ring, but I don't think that does anything. Maybe. We'll play one copy. Go down on 2 copies of Deathbright Shaman. We'll cut a copy of Natural Order and a Court of Calling. We'll do the same sideboarding as last time. Copy of a Once Upon a Time. We'll cut a copy of Orcish Bowmaster. I'm not sure if they're gonna have a One Ring. I mean, like, Orcish Bowmaster is good, but doesn't... I don't know. I mean, considering that we have Once Upon a Time, maybe we don't care about them drawing a card. Yeah? Oh my god. Yes, please. So we finally get to see the Yawg in action. Please let me see it. Please let me see it. So obviously, with 3 mana, they're not going to be able to combo next turn. Like, this is a dream. Oh, man. No! No! Opponent! Come back! Let me cast my Yawg. I just wanted to see their reaction after I cast my Yawg. Like, oh man. Alright, so I played 5 games with this deck. We went 4-1. I lost to a Sheoldred deck quite convincingly. I didn't actually expect a Sheoldred. It's been a long time since I played the Yawg, and that means I don't really know the matchups too well, even in Historic. Just because of after Orcish Bowmaster got banished to the Shadow Realm, like, nobody really plays Yawg anymore. And I forgot that Yawg gets completely countered by Sheoldred. Because if you try to ever kill a Sheoldred, since you have to pay 1 life to put a -1/- counter, and then you draw a card, so that's 3 life you're losing every time you put a counter on a Sheoldred. So what ends up happening is, if you do eventually kill it, that's like what? That's 15 points of life. So you gotta be really careful against a Sheoldred, because I wasn't really aware of the matchup. If I'm playing against like a black deck, I should have expected a Sheoldred. That's when you bring 3 copies of Fatal Push, plus a Pylon. So, and on top of that, they had a Sheoldred. I only brought a Skyfisher Spider and a Pylon, but that was a mistake because they also had Kalitas. Like, they had a Kalitas and a Sheoldred. Like, I actually got comboed. I got self-comboed. That's my only loss so far. I played against a field deck twice. Just an absolute slaughter, except for the you know, the first game, that first match, second game. I kept a 0 land hand with Once Upon a Time. And we started out with the Delighted Halfling into a Prosperous Innkeeper. I just needed 1 land because I had an Ashok in my hand. But couldn't get there, but I did eventually win that match. And then I played against another field deck, which Ashok would have devastated in the game 2 of that match. But before I could even cast the Ashok, it's like my opponent knew I had an Ashok in my hand, and they just straight up left before casting it. So a bit of a letdown, but this completely shuts down anything they play. So let's take a look at what this does. This thing does spells and abilities your opponent controls can't cause their controller to search their library. So what this means is something like a natural order, right? It says search your library for a green creature card. Immediately gets banished. Let's take a look at the fetch land. Search your library for a plains or island. So the field deck is going to have some of these as well. So not only does it stop the natural order, but it also stops fetch lands. So let's take a look at other cards. Primeval Titan. Whenever this enters or attacks, you may search your library for up to 2 lands. So it stops 3 things: a land, natural order, Primeval Titan. Unless they have exactly Primeval Titan in their hand, and they have 2 land combination with the Castle Garenbrig and the Citadel, they're not going to be able to get the Titan down. And even if they do get the Titan down, what are they going to do? Like, they get the 2 lands onto the battlefield and it just gets banished, right? So Ashok, broken. So we have 2 copies of Ashok in the sideboard for that reason. That is the matchup that you want to bring in. Otherwise, I wouldn't be playing Ashok, but because Field of the Dead is popular at the current state, the 2 copies of Ashok is in there. And you might have actually seen from some of the games that I played, even the last time I played a Yawg deck in the channel, I played it. The first game was against a field deck. Even without like relying on Ashok, I feel like you just win the matchup just because we were playing a combo deck that can come down as early as turn 4. Even turn 5, right? Even turn 5, you're just going to win because that deck cannot kill you on turn 5. So if you can set up Yawg by turn 5, right? As long as you live, you're going to win. So compared to last time, this deck has gone through some considerable change. We have 4 copies of Once Upon a Time. Last time I didn't realize Once Upon a Time was legal. I mean, of course I knew Once Upon a Time was legal. It was just not at the back of my mind. But Once Upon a Time, right? Just insane in this deck. Just what this allowed this deck to do is go down on lands. So instead of 22 like last time or 21, we're playing 20 with the 4 copies of Once Upon a Time. But this also allows you to kind of find the missing combo pieces, right? For a combo deck, that's like a godsend. So this card is insane in this deck. And because of Deathray Shaman, last time we were playing 6 fetch lands, but I did eventually go up to 8 fetch lands like you see here. Because if you're gonna play Deathray Shaman, you have to play fetch lands, especially in a meta where Field of the Dead deck is running rampant, and they don't play that many fetch lands for you to abuse Deathray Shaman. So especially game 2 and 3, you're probably gonna cut like 2 copies of Deathray Shaman, but for game 1, it's going to be pretty essential that you do have some fetch lands so that you can actually get this going and combo them in game 1. Yeah, I mean, this deck was pretty insane. It was very good. Come to think of it, like, how did I fit for 3 copies of Prosperous Innkeeper? I swear that I was only playing 2? Did I cut something? Oh, no. That's because I caught a Cauldron. Oh, yeah. I did cut Agatha's Soul Cauldron. There was actually 2 copies of Soul Cauldron, but because we took out the Tyvar and Praise of Forgotten Gods, I thought that we didn't have that many activate abilities, so I did eventually cut the Soul Cauldron, and it's not like Yawg is the only way to win. We can just natural order for Craterhoof Behemoth, as you've seen from match 1. Like, we've won multiple times getting the Craterhoof Behemoth onto the battlefield. So yeah, the only really unfortunate part about the natural order is that it can only search for a green card, which means in this deck it can only search a Craterhoof Behemoth, a Troxa, Hapatra, which is a combo piece, Young Wolf, which is a combo piece, right? So these are the targets that you want to search for, but I mean, obviously, the fact that you can't search for a Yawg is a little bit of a downside compared to Eldritch Evolution, but the fact that casting a single natural order can just win you the game straight up, I think not playing the natural order might be wrong. Maybe like, if you want to go down the natural order, you could also look to play only like 2 copies or something like that. So that's the main board. Very good against field matchup. Let's see. I think the sideboard looks pretty nice. I can't really complain about anything. I'm not sure if there's actually a green card that does something like a Drana and Linvala, because obviously Drana and Linvala cannot be used for natural order. Maybe we need a green card that's other than like Skyfisher and Titan. Maybe this can be something else, like, because realistically this is only good if you're playing against other Yawg deck, right? So, but I think our sideboard looks pretty nice. We have a lot of like 1-up creatures that can be Court of Calling or natural order depending on the matchup. So yeah, natural order, very, very scary card. And yeah, the deck was pretty insane. If you've been playing some field and you want some breath of fresh air, try this one out. Natural order, just insane with having a Troxa or Craterhoof as your top end. And you also have a Titan of Industry to bring in without having to rely on only the Haywire Mite, right? So the Haywire Mites, this is for like Pithing Needles and stuff, but it can also exile, so that can also get rid of 1 ring. But let's say like you have a Yawg down on the battlefield, opponent has a Pithing Needle, somehow the Haywire Mite's already gone, and the only card that you drew was a natural order, then that's when like Titan of Industry can shine, right? Destroy target artifact or enchantment. So that's one of the reasons why Titan of Industry is in the deck, and that's for natural order. But let's say you're playing against a control deck, natural order is probably not going to cut it. You probably want to cut this card just because you don't want to get 2 for 1, right? You sacrifice a creature, they counter it. Oh, that's pretty bad. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video so far. And if you did, as always, leave a like, comment below, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.